Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, I have a bike to show you guys, and I'll show you the process I go through to figure out what's wrong and what needs to be repaired. But before we get to today's video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't be seeing this awesome cycling content we got on this channel. So right onto the video. I got a bike dropped off, and you guys have requested a couple times that I go through a bike with you guys and show you how I know what's wrong with the bike and what I need to focus on to get the bike working like it should. So let's go ahead and get right into this. We got the bike right behind the camera. I'm going to pull it out for you guys and show you the process I go through when someone drops off a bike for me to repair. So we'll roll the bike right on over here, and this is a cool, old, probably 70s bike here. Pretty neat bike. So this got dropped off to me. Pretty much their complaint was that it doesn't shift, is what's going on now. It has an old 3-speed Sturmey Archer hub in there, which we'll talk about in a second, but that was their main complaint. However, this bike has been sitting there. Kind of got a little backstory. This bike sat for a long time in a shed, so it's been a long time since it's even been on the road or been ridden at all. So, first things I would do if there were handbrakes, I would grab the handbrakes before I even throw it up in the stand, see if they feel good or not. This one doesn't have any handbrakes, it's a coaster brake. So there is that. Next up, I would go ahead and I would grab our tires, check our tire pressures, see what we're looking at here, and as the back tire on this one completely flat. So there's one problem right there, completely flat tire. From looking at these tires and guessing the age on this bike, these tires are probably the original tires. Let me throw this in the stand. I'll show you guys a quick little trick. I'll see if it works with this bike, figure out the exact age of this bike, and we can kind of go from there looking at the tires, see if they need to be replaced, and we'll keep looking to see what work needs to be done on this bike. So a way you can use it, I don't know if you guys have ever used Google Lens before, but essentially you Google something with a picture, and it tries to match it up with a picture that's very similar to it. So we'll pull up Google Lens here, search with my camera, and we'll go ahead, and we need to back way up off of this bike. There we go. And we'll take a quick picture, and we'll see. Man, this thing has no... Yeah, and so the problem with this is there's no frame markings on here to really tell us what this guy is the problem. Yeah, so from looking this up, it kind of looks like an old Huffy. I don't have an exact model on it, but it looks like it's an old Huffy. And you might be like, oh, Huffy's are pretty crappy bikes, right? Because you see them at Walmart now. Back in the day, Huffys were pretty decent bikes. They were actually a decent brand, and it's a nice steel frame. It's lug steel, so that's a pretty obvious giveaway to me. There's a lug steel frame right here, lug steel fork as well. It's got the fenders, and it has a rack. I think the rack was added on at some point onto this bike, just based on how the rack looks and how the fenders are. Looks like that was added on at some point. And then with the 3-speed Sturmey Archer, kind of gives away to me that it's probably in the 70s is what this bike is. I don't have an exact date, but I'm definitely getting 70s, like a Huffy bike is kind of what this is looking like. So pretty much from that quick research, we know this bike is from the 70s. So it's 2023, so you're looking probably 50 years old for the bike. Pretty old bike. So then we're going to start taking a look at the tires on this. The first thing I want to look at, just to kind of gauge how old these tires are. And I just want to see if I can find any kind of brand. Okay, they're at least a Kenda. And then of course the front and rear tires match. They might match. Okay. So there's that one. Let's take a look at the rear. Let's see if that's a Kenda as well. It is a Kenda on the rear. And another giveaway for me, this is probably from the 70s era, is these are a 26 by 1 3/8 tire. So 26-inch diameter, 1 3/8 width. So they're kind of a weird old school tire. They're actually the same kind of size tire as on my Sears bike. So gives me that kind of thing that's from probably around the 70s what this bike is from. And if I look really close at these tires, they are dry, rotted out. And that would explain why this tire's flat. Because, yeah, there's like no... These tires, if they start to ride this bike, it's going to start chunking tires off. I would do new tubes. So this one I would do new tubes and tires. Tires because the age and they're going to start dying. And tubes because, again, probably the tubes are from the same period of time. Especially since these tires still have your little hairs on the outside of them. So it really didn't get ridden very much. So, still got little hairs on it. But the way the tires are looking, they're dry rotted. And I'll show you guys, hopefully you guys will see a little picture here. I'll show a video of what these tires look like, and they're bad. So, definitely need new tires. I will let them know that they should get new tires on there and new tubes, and that should get them riding for a while from there. Along with that, I would probably look into rim tape, and the rim tape may or may not be bad. Rim tape is also rubber. Rubber decays. That actually might be why this tire's flat, is from it poking the spokes, is what that's from. So, there's kind of the basic things. Tires, based on the age of the bike, tires should be replaced on this just because they are so old and they're going to start chunking, and it came with the flat tire. That's probably one of the key things that made that tire flat, was the tire being so old. So now that we've established the tires, now we're going to start looking at the bearings on this bike and see if the bearings are actually good and tight still. So first thing we'll do, grab the wheel and we'll kind of rock it back and forth. And it has a little bit of play. Just a hair bit of play in that wheel there. Do the same to the rear. And the rear feels solid, and those normally do. The Sturmy Archer hubs do really good. So, rear is good, front's got a little wobble to it. Next up, we'll grab our headset right here, and we'll give this guy a quick little wiggle. We'll grab it off fork or tire. And that guy definitely has a little bit of wiggle to it. So, definitely got to tighten up the headset. Possibly, as you can tell, the whole top nut is actually loose on there. So it could be as simple as just tightening that up and it would go away. Oh no, that's loose. So it could be a grease in there, could just be tightening it up. We definitely take a look at that. That needs to be addressed. Last thing you really got to check is down here at the cranks. So at the cranks, we just grab both arms and we're going to go side to side. And that actually feels super solid. So cranks feel good. Just really the front here, so the front wheel hub needs to be adjusted a little bit, as well as the headset needs to be adjusted as well. Now from there, of course, based on what you're doing with the bike, if you're gonna ride the bike and you want to keep the pedals, you can check the pedals, make sure the pedals feel all solid too. In my case, they all feel good. Pedal spindles feel awesome. And then we're coming down to the shifting on this bike, which is really why the customer brought it to me, is the shifting doesn't work. So this is an old Sturmy Archer 3-speed. And it does not shift really back down. It gets stuck right there. And that's because that guy is actually tweaked, is what our problem is. Okay, well I found a problem. So we can fix that. So there you guys have it. I went through this whole bike. So you'll see in a separate video how to adjust the Sturmy Archer 3-speed. So I did a full different video because I know there's people that search exactly for those terms. So I want to make sure those people can find the video once I post it. So keep an eye out for that video. We got the hub all straightened out, shifts all through all gears perfectly. We got the headset bearings and the front wheel bearings back into adjustment like they should be. So those should be all set, ready to go for them. Other than that, really, they need tires, tubes, and rim strips, and this bike is ready to go, and then it just needs to be ridden and get everything broken back in. Just been sitting for a long time. You can tell the grease and everything is just solid still. It needs to be ridden and loosened up some. So that is pretty much how I go through a bike when I get it, just to see what exactly is wrong with it. And then generally, once I have gone through the bike, I started adjusting them from whatever point I ended at. So in my case, I ended at a 3-speed hub. I finished adjusting that, got that all set, and then I moved up to the front and did the headset bearings and the wheel bearings after that. So pretty simple process. Hope you guys were able to kind of learn how my mind and how I process a bike as it comes to me and figure out exactly what's wrong with it and then get it repaired in a timely manner. So if you guys did enjoy the video, give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys, love answering questions you guys have, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.